The fluorescent lights hummed softly over the cereal aisle of Harper's Grocery as Officer James Carter made his routine patrol through the store, greeting familiar faces and ensuring that all was well in his community. At 42 years old, James had been serving as a police officer in Brookdale for 15 years, and he had learned to notice things that others might miss, the small details that sometimes revealed bigger problems. As James walked down the cereal aisle, he noticed a man shopping with a little girl who appeared to be about 5 years old. The child wore a bright pink dress and had brown hair pulled back with small clips. But there was something about her posture and expression that caught James's attention. While most children her age would be chattering excitedly or asking for their favorite cereals, this little girl was unusually quiet and seemed to stay very close to the man beside her. The man appeared to be in his 30s and was dressed casually in jeans and a gray shirt. He moved through the store with the efficiency of someone following a specific list, occasionally speaking to the little girl in low tones that James could not quite hear from his position several aisles away. As James continued his patrol, he found himself unconsciously keeping track of the man and child, though he could not put his finger on exactly why they had captured his attention. His years of experience had taught him to trust his instincts, even when he could not immediately explain them. It was when James passed by the end of the cereal aisle again that he saw something that made his blood run cold. The little girl, while still holding the man's hand and appearing to be a normal child with her guardian, had raised her other hand in what looked like an innocent wave. But James recognized the gesture immediately from the community safety training that schools had been teaching children over the past few years. The child was making the signal for help hand gesture, a silent distress call developed to help people, especially children, communicate that they needed assistance when they could not speak freely. James's heart began to race as he realized that this little girl was asking for help in the only way she could while remaining undetected by the man beside her. His training kicked in immediately, and he began to carefully position himself to observe the situation without alerting the man to his presence. James followed at a discreet distance as the man and child moved through the store, noting that the little girl continued to make the distress signal whenever she thought no one was looking. The man seemed unaware of her actions, focused on his shopping, and occasionally checking his phone. When the pair reached the checkout line, James made his move. He approached casually, as if he were simply making conversation with fellow shoppers. "Good afternoon," James said to the man with a friendly smile. "Beautiful day for grocery shopping. Is this your daughter?" The man looked up with a slightly startled expression. "Oh, yes, this is Lily. We're just picking up a few things." James knelt down to Lily's level, speaking in the gentle tone he used when talking to children in the community. "Hello, Lily. That is a very pretty dress you're wearing. Are you having a good day shopping with your dad?" Lily looked at the man, then back at James, and very carefully, while appearing to simply be adjusting her hair, made the distress signal again. This time, James was certain of what he was seeing. "You know what, Lily?" James said, standing up and addressing the man. "I'm Officer Carter, and I work here in the community to keep everyone safe. Would it be all right if I talk with you and Lily for just a minute? There's a quiet area near the customer service desk where we could chat." The man's expression grew tense. "Officer, is there a problem? We're just shopping." James maintained his friendly demeanor, but positioned himself between the man and the exit. "No problem at all, sir. It's just routine. I like to meet the families in our community, especially when I see children. It'll only take a moment." As James gently guided them toward the customer service area, he used his radio to quietly call for backup, speaking in the coded language that would bring additional officers without alerting anyone nearby to a potential emergency. In the privacy of the store manager's office, with backup officers stationed discreetly nearby, James was able to speak with Lily separately from a man who claimed to be her father. Within minutes, it became clear that Lily was not with a family member, but had been taken from a playground 3 days earlier while her real father was at work. Lily, who had learned about the signal for help at her school, had been waiting for an opportunity to use it when she saw James in his uniform. Her quick thinking and brave use of the distress signal had potentially saved her life and reunited her with her family. The man who had taken Lily was arrested immediately, and within an hour Lily was safely reunited with her father, Daniel Hayes, who had been searching desperately for her with the help of police and volunteers throughout Brookdale. "Lily," James said as he knelt beside her in the hospital where she was being checked by doctors, "you are the bravest little girl I have ever met. You remember what you learned in school, and you use it at exactly the right time." Lily, now safely in her father's arms, looked at James with the kind of trust that children reserve for people who have proven themselves to be true protectors. "Officer Carter, I was scared, but I remembered that the signal was supposed to help people find me if I was in trouble." James felt tears prick his eyes as he realized how close they had come to missing this opportunity to save Lily. "You did exactly the right thing, Lily. You should be very proud of yourself." Daniel, a construction worker, shook James's hand with tears streaming down his face. "Officer Carter, I don't know how to thank you. When Lily disappeared, I thought I might never see her again." James looked at this reunited family and felt the deep satisfaction that came from knowing his training and instincts had made a life-changing difference. "Mr. Hayes," James said, "Lily saved herself by being smart and brave. I was just in the right place at the right time to see her signal." In the weeks that followed, Lily's story became a powerful example of how community safety education could save lives. The Signal for Help program was expanded throughout the region, and Lily herself became a spokesperson for teaching other children about staying safe and knowing how to ask for help when they could not speak freely. 6 months later, at a community safety event where Lily was being honored for her bravery, James reflected on how a simple hand gesture had prevented a tragedy and brought a family back together. Lily Hayes showed us that sometimes the smallest signals can have the biggest impact, James told a gathered crowd of parents, teachers, and community members. Her courage and quick thinking remind us why it is so important to teach our children that there are always people watching out for them, and that help is available if they know how to ask for it. Lily, now 6 years old and thriving in school, took the microphone with the confidence of a child who had faced something terrible and emerged stronger. "I want to tell all the kids that if you are ever in trouble and can't talk, remember the signal. There are good people like Officer Carter who are watching and will help you if you let them know you need it." As James watched Lily speak to the crowd with her father beaming proudly beside her, he was reminded of why he had become a police officer in the first place. It was not just about enforcing laws or catching criminals, but about being alert to the people in his community who needed protection, especially the most vulnerable. The Signal for Help had worked exactly as it was designed to, creating a silent communication between a child in danger and a trained adult who knew how to respond. Lily's story had become a testament to the power of community education and the importance of teaching children that they always have options, even in the scariest situations. Sometimes, James reflected, the most important conversations happen without words, and sometimes a small hand gesture can be the most powerful communication of all, connecting a child who needs help with an adult who is ready to provide it, bridging the gap between danger and safety with nothing more than fingers carefully arranged to say what words cannot safely express. And as we share this story here on Kindness Diaries USA, may it inspire us all to stay alert, stay kind, and always be ready to help someone in need. Blue Heart,